Okay, let's talk about AI. But I want you to forget everything you think you know about simple chatbots. Seriously. While the whole world has been kind of focused on text prompts, Google's been off in the corner building a full-blown creative playground. Today, we're going way beyond just asking AI questions. We're going to look at a new generation of tools that aren't designed to replace you, but to give you actual superpowers. This quote, it really says it all, doesn't it? Most of us are just barely scratching the surface of what's even possible right now. I mean, imagine an AI that can take 100 pages of your messy notes and turn it into a cinematic video. Or build a working app from a single sentence you type. Well, that's the world we're about to dive into. So let's pull back the curtain. All right, first things first, we've got to get our heads around a really fundamental shift in philosophy here. This isn't about making a slightly smarter chatbot. No. This is about changing the very nature of our relationship with AI. We're moving from a simple assistant to, well, a true creative partner. And look, this is the question on everyone's mind, right? It's the big one. Every single time a new amazing tool drops, the whole conversation immediately jumps to which jobs are now on the chopping block. But what if that's completely the wrong way to be looking at this? The answer, at least according to the head of Google Labs, Josh Woodward, is this idea of co-creation. The goal isn't replacement, it's augmentation. Think of it like this. It's about giving pros these insane creative superpowers, and at the same time, lowering the barrier to entry so anyone can build the things they've only ever dreamed about. So what does this co-creation thing actually look like in the real world? Well, for our first example, I want you to imagine having an entire marketing agency right at your fingertips, ready to launch a brand new campaign in like an instant. For any small business owner out there, you know this pain. It's a daily reality. Creating professional-looking social media campaigns, getting those perfect product photos, all the marketing materials, it takes a ton of time, a ton of money, and expertise that a lot of people just don't have. And this is where a tool like Pomeli just changes the game. The process is so simple, it's almost funny. You just give it your website's URL, that's it. The AI instantly scans it, and it pulls out what Google calls your business DNA. You know, the core logos, the fonts, the colors, the whole vibe that defines your brand. And from that one URL, the results are, well, they're incredible. You can generate entire social media campaigns that look and feel exactly like your brand. There's this feature called Photo Shoot, where you can take one picture of your product and instantly put it in hundreds of different professional-looking settings. This isn't about replacing a marketing director. It's about giving a small business owner the team they could never, ever afford. Okay, so from marketing, we're going to pivot to building actual software. And this is where things start to get really mind-bending. I mean, what if you didn't need to know a single line of code to build a functional app? I mean, just look at this. This slide perfectly captures the massive leap we've just taken. On the left, you've got the old way. Slow, complicated, different people in different departments. And on the right, you have the new way. One person, one idea, bringing something to life. That's what a tool like Stitch makes possible. It's completely democratizing development. So how's it work? You just start by describing the interface you want. The AI just makes it. Then you can drag things around on this huge canvas, edit the text, and when you're ready, and this is the crazy part, you just right-click. The AI looks at your design and instantly builds a clickable working prototype right there in front of your eyes. And this just perfectly shows that whole co-creation philosophy. See, it's not just for people who can't code. A back-end engineer can now design a front-end interface. A marketing manager can take a screenshot of a product, drop it in, and start adding features. It totally blurs those traditional job titles, making the whole team way more creative and way more productive. Okay, so we've seen AI as a marketer and as a coder, but what about AI as a researcher and a storyteller? Let's check out a tool that is trying to completely change how we understand and share complex information. We've all been there, right? This is the core challenge for any student, any researcher, pretty much anyone who works with information. You're just drowning in it. How do you take dozens, sometimes hundreds, of different sources and turn it all into something you can actually understand and use? Well, that is exactly what Notebook LM is built for. You feed it all your stuff, your notes, articles, PDFs, and it basically becomes a personalized world expert on your material. Then you can ask it really complex questions, tell it to visualize data as an infographic, or even have it whip up a podcast summary of your research that you can listen to on your way to work. But the newest feature is it's a showstopper. It literally acts like an AI assistant director. It reads all your sources, it writes a script with a real narrative arc, it develops a visual style, and it produces a full video overview. Get this. It even writes the code to generate interactive charts and animations that get embedded right into the video. It's this wild fusion of data, story, and code. So when you see a tool that can blend that many different human skills into one single thing, it really forces you to ask the big question. If AI can do all of this, if it can do the marketing, the coding, the research, what does that mean for us? What skills are actually going to matter in this new world? Let's start with a hard number. Right now, today, at Google, 25 to 30% of all code is already being written or helped along by AI. This isn't some sci-fi future trend. It's happening as we speak. And that reality, it forces us to ask maybe the most important question of all. As AI starts to handle more and more of the technical stuff, where do we as humans provide our unique value? Well, according to Google Labs' Josh Woodward, the answer lies in a totally new skill set. It's about being agile enough to reinvent yourself, to not tie your whole identity to one specific job. It's about becoming an AI generalist, not a master of one thing, but more like a conductor of an orchestra of AI instruments, knowing exactly which one to use to solve a problem. And maybe most importantly, it's about having a spirit of play. And honestly, this is the key takeaway from all of this. This frontier is moving so incredibly fast that the only way to keep up is to just constantly experiment, to have a mindset of play, to poke at a tool, see what it's good for, and maybe discover a whole new way of working that literally nobody has ever thought of yet. So the tools are here, and they are more accessible and more powerful than ever before. They're not just chatbots waiting for us to type something in. They're creative partners. The real question isn't what AI is going to do to us. It's what are we going to do with it? The playground is officially open.